Hello, I'm Ed Caldera. I'm your host for this webinar, and this is one of a series of webinars that focus on essential QA/QC functions. They cover lessons learned from the job site, and today's topic is about punch lists and deficiencies. And leading our discussion today is JC Gatlin. He's head of FTQ360 support. And the basic outline today is going to be a 15-minute discussion about the topic at hand, followed by a Q&A. And if you have questions, go ahead and use the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. I'll be monitoring that. And then after the 15 minutes, we'll be getting to your Q&A questions. So we're recording this, so if we need to share it or you'd like to share it, we'll have it. So with that, let's get to it. Over to you, JC.
Oh, thanks, Ed. So 4 ways to streamline your deficiencies in your punch list. And in this meeting, we're going to go over problems with deficiencies in punch lists. We're going to talk about strategies to getting a handle on deficiencies in punch lists, and that includes work to completion lists too for the commercial construction companies. And we're also going to talk about how to streamline deficiencies in punch lists using FTQ360. So let's just jump right into problem number 1. Total chaos on the job site. Multiple projects mean multiple project managers, multiple superintendents, multiple inspectors, and every one of them is handling their document deficiencies and communicating to subcontractors in a totally different way. There's a lot going on. In fact, last week I was talking to a superintendent about this, and he said he usually writes down issues in a notepad, but sometimes he enters them into a spreadsheet if he remembers to do that. And then he thought about it a second. He said, you know what? And sometimes I just text him. If I see something right there on the job site, I'll just text him right there. And how is he supposed to keep up with all that? Plus, if you think about it from the subcontractor's point of view, they are getting text messages and emails and handwritten notes on the job sites. It's total chaos for them too. So the first step is reining all of this in. Let's standardize. And standardization means defining a process to document deficiencies and communicate them to the subcontractors. Standardization brings order to chaos. So then the next step in standardization is implementing that process across all projects. Every project manager, every superintendent, every inspector follows the exact same process. Again, standardization brings order to chaos. And all that chaos on the job site creates problem number 2, which is a lot of issues get missed during the construction process and aren't fixed until after the walls are closed, or even worse, after delivery to the customer. And like I mentioned before, that one CM was handling his deficiency management in different ways just on his own job site. So it's no wonder things fall between the cracks. No one can keep track of everything that needs to be fixed if some items are on a spreadsheet and other items are on a notepad. And then there is this one item that I saw last Tuesday and I texted it directly to the framer. You can't keep track of all that. So that chaos is causing expensive fixes and headaches for problems that really shouldn't have even happened in the first place. And the solution is accountability. Standardization provides that accountability and ensures all document items are resolved. And now what you've got is a process that is working for you. So let's talk about problem number 3. And this is more of a 50,000-foot view of the problem. All that chaos on the job site prevents the management team and the corporate office to see the full picture. how do they know that all the issues that were documented on every single job site across every single project, and how do they even know that all those issues were fixed? The buck stops with them, and they often don't know what's going on until it's too late. They can't penetrate all these different ways of documenting and communicating deficiencies. So what can they do? The process you put in place solves that. Standardization and accountability creates visibility for the management team and the corporate office. With a process in place, they can manage by exception and immediately see where a project may be getting out of control and step in before it gets out of hand or if it's too late. And so these steps create a deficiency management system. It standardizes documentation and communication and provides accountability and visibility of what deficiencies are fixed and what's still out there. And FTQ360 provides that deficiency management system in a very efficient, easy to use app. And I'm going to go over that with you. Let me just bring that up here. So FTQ360 is an app that the superintendents can be using on the job site on their mobile device. There's an iOS app as well as an Android app, and it gets everybody using the same software, doing the same thing. And the way the entry screen works is they can add all of their punch list items into one list in the software. So here I've added a concrete issue, I've added an electrical issue, I've added a drywall issue. I can take pictures and mark them up. I can add notes about what the issue is. I can assign it to the subcontractor. I can even give it a due date. And I just go down the list and I can add additional issues that I find. So let's say that, now I find a paint issue. And I'll just keep adding to the list. And now I find, let's say, a flooring issue. And so I can create my punch list very easily right on my phone or my tablet. And let's just save that here real quick. And let's say that I want to email this. So I can email this, and I can then either send the full PDF punch list. And so here I've got all of my items on this punch list. And it includes all of the notes, all the marked up pictures. Or if I want to, I can email the concrete issue. I can select the concrete company. And then all they're going to receive is just that one issue that was assigned to them. Or if I had multiple issues assigned to them, they would be listed on here. And now they get a simple PDF with all of the issues. It's got your notes, it's got your pictures, it's got the due date, it's got everything on there that they need in order to go out there to the job site and either finish the work or fix the work. Then as issues are taken care of, we'll just come back over here to our checklist. So once the items are done, then you'll mark them as fixed. And now you've got a record that this item did happen on the job site and that it was taken care of. So now we get into accountability. And accountability in using a database allows you to pull up all of the individual deficiencies that have been created across all of your projects. And here we're looking at a database view. We call this the listing grid. And the listing grid has filters at the top of each header. And so if I want all of the issues in a particular project, maybe on a particular address or job site, or maybe I just want everything that's been that's listed as open, I can set those filters. And now I'm looking, for example, this is everything on lot 2. And I'm seeing all of the open issues as well as the fixed issues. And I could filter those out by typing open in here. And then I've got my list of issues. And I can actually even load this into Excel if I needed to. Now, this creates the accountability. So I know every individual issue that's been documented. I know what the status is. This one's fixed. This one's still open. And I know exactly what needs to be done going forward. And then that brings us to visibility. And FTQ360 has an array of dashboards, and I'm just going to focus on this one that is the open issue dashboard. So this is showing me my project, and then where the deficiencies are located, how many deficiencies there are, and I can see some that are past due and some that are coming due. So right here in this particular project, I've got 5 overdue issues and 9 coming due pretty quick. And if I scroll down, now I can look at, for example, which checklist have the issues, which responsible parties or subcontractors have assigned issues to them. And if I scroll all the way down, I can see here are those individual issues. And if I wanted to open up that particular inspection, now I can see here's the issue and what the status is, and maybe it just needs to be moved from open to fixed and update the system. Now, also with your dashboards, you can filter down or drill down. So let's say that I want all of the issues just for this one house, this one lot. I can select it, and now everything that I'm looking at is just for that one particular address. And if I scroll down, these are the individual issues that have been identified and are still pending out there. And so this gives you your visibility as well as your accountability. And then the standardization is bringing all of the superintendents into using their mobile devices on the job site to enter those deficiencies.
Well, that's the basics. I think we're just scratching the surface here, but it gives some sort of strategy to the whole process of being able to manage deficiencies. And I'm going to turn it over to Q&A right now. So the first question is, do subcontractors see each other's deficiencies?
Oh, that's a really good question. And actually, let me just bring up FTQ360 again. So if I was sending this, the subcontractor would just see the issue that's been assigned to them. So in this case, on this punch list, I've got a lot of issues listed. But when I email this to the subcontractor, if I was going to email that concrete, he's just going to see as one issue. That was a good question.
All right. Another one here is, how do you stop people from sticking to their old ways and start using the new processes?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough nut to crack. But I think the first step in standardizing the process would be to sell the value. This isn't a system that is going to be used to be the big brother and monitor all their activities. It's designed to help them and make their lives easier. If it's easier to make sure that all those open issues are fixed and they don't have those headaches down the road, then they're going to want to use this system. And I think part 2 on that too would be to get the players who are on board, get them actively using it and promoting it, so that way they are selling it for you as well and saying, yeah, this is really easy to use and it's really making my job easier.
All right, thank you for that. And actually the last question I have, unless someone posts another one, is can the field people see the dashboard? I guess.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That dashboard is not just for management, that is for the field as well. And so if you are both looking at the same thing, that just improves the communication. So if I'm your superintendent and I've got 15 past due items and you're calling me, I probably know why you're calling me. So absolutely, you're looking at the exact same thing.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our Q&A. If you want to learn more about deficiencies and deficiency management, contact us, and we'll be happy to get into more details and some other things that might interest you in particular. And also to let you know that we are having a webinar in September, on September 6th, on daily progress reports. And then another one in October for checklist inspections. So that'll be part of this is the one in the series of webinars, and hopefully that we'll see everyone there for those other webinars.